Heinrich Otto Wieland was born in Pforzheim, Germany on June 4, 1877, to Albert Wieland, a pharmaceutical chemist, and Elise Bloom. He would go on to win a Nobel Prize for his work in chemistry, specifically his work with stomach bile.
It's very possible that Wieland's father instilled a passion and talent for chemistry in him from a very young age. His later success as a chemist in his own right could be traced back to the fact that his father was a chemist himself.
When Heinrich Otto Wieland came of age, he left home to study chemistry at several German universities. Heinrich Otto Wieland studied at the University of Munich, the University of Berlin, and the University of Stuttgart. Finally, he settled at the University of Munich, where he continued to study chemistry under Professor Johann Thiel.
Thiel was a great chemist as well. During World War I, he helped develop the gas mask to protect soldiers from carbon monoxide. He also did a lot of work with nitrogen-containing compounds, which is where Wieland got his start.
In 1901, Wieland went on to receive his doctorate under Thiel. He went on to receive his Venia Legendi. This is the highest credential a scholar can receive in his or her field.
Earning your Venia Legendi is a huge accomplishment in itself, but the fact that Wieland was able to earn all the major honors that a scientist could earn throughout the course of his career is just extraordinary.
In 1913, Wieland received a senior lectureship in the University of Munich's chemical laboratory. In 1917, he became a full-time professor at the technical college close by. He later became a chairperson at the University of Munich and held most of the responsibility for the laboratory there. Not only was Wieland devoted to chemistry, he truly cared about his students. During his time as professor, World War II was taking place, and the Nazis had taken over Germany. Wieland protected his so-called racially challenged students by taking them into his own home as his guests.
They could have all been killed by the Nazis. Wieland literally risked his life to protect his students. That speaks volumes.
In addition to teaching, Heinrich Otto Wieland had a prolific research career, with his findings being put out into over 400 publications. Wieland found that the structure of steroids was 3 6-carbon rings attached to a single 5-carbon ring. Wieland's focus on biological reactions and processes, such as oxidation and dehydrogenation, revolutionized chemistry by finding a link between biochemistry and organic chemistry.
Wieland really made modern chemistry possible. Without him, we'd have biochemists on one side and organic chemists on the other, thinking that the reactions going on inside of their bodies were completely independent from the chemical reactions happening in the carbons and organic molecules all around them.
Despite the great strides that Wieland had made in his field this far, he had still not made the discovery that would win him the Nobel Prize. He still had to work with stomach bile.
Wieland and his co-workers worked for years and years to understand the complexity of various bile acids. They did this by oxidizing specific parts of the molecule. It might seem like a small thing, but through his research and throughout everything he did, other researchers were able to carry out similar experiments to discover information about various carbon structures, which are all vital to understanding almost everything in biology and chemistry.
Wieland began his iconic research in bile acids in 1915 at the Kaiser Wilhelm University. He and his colleagues worked for over 25 years to understand the complex structure of cholic acids and other bile acids. Because of his revolutionary work, Wieland received the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1927 at the age of 50. But while his iconic work may be over, the lasting impact he created will forever leave a mark on chemistry and history. At the age of 80, Heinrich Otto Wieland passed away on August 8, 1957, in Starnberg, Germany. He was survived by 3 sons, Theodor, Wolfgang, and Otto, and a daughter, Eva.
Wieland had 4 children: Theodor, a professor of chemistry at the University of Frankfurt; Wolfgang, a doctor of pharmaceutical chemistry; Otto, a professor of medicine at the University of Munich; and Eva, who married Theodor Linen, a professor of biochemistry at the University of Munich, who later became a Nobel laureate in physiology or medicine in 1964. Throughout their lives, they obviously exemplified the ideals and image of their father.
The Boehringer Ingelheim Institute honors Heinrich Otto Wieland's accomplishments by naming their first research facility after him in 1938. Since 1964, the Boehringer Ingelheim Foundation has presented innovative scientists with the annual Heinrich Wieland Prize. This prize honors innovators who share Heinrich Otto Wieland's vision of progress through scientific research. In his life, Wieland was able to provide a link for biological and organic chemistry and create strides in chemistry which made modern science possible. Wieland was, without a doubt, one of the greatest scientists in the 20th century.